Here's our last section on the review. I think it's the last section. Oh, just kidding. There's one more section after this. So here's parallel and perpendicular lines. This is worth 10 points on your exam. Here it says, given y equals 3x minus 9, we want to write the equation of a perpendicular line. So if you guys remember back to when we did this, we had to create an of table. Remember, the opposite and the flipped version of our slope. So in this case, this is for perpendicular lines. If you need help remembering, it's because these two right here are perpendicular. Okay. So here, the opposite of a positive 3 is a negative. Okay. And the flipped over version of a whole number 3, remember it's over 1. You flip it over, you get 1 over 3. So the equation of a perpendicular line to this is any equation that has a slope of negative 1/3. That's it can have any y-intercept. Can you see that? Probably not. You should say negative 1/3. You can put any number here plus 2 if you want. It can be any number you want there, as long as 1/3 x plus 2. So as long as this is a negative 1/3, that's what's important. Here, for the equation of a parallel line, remember the parallel slope of a line has to be exactly the same as the slope of the line that you were given. So y equals, our slope has to be exactly the same. However, our y-intercept cannot be the same, because if it's the same, then that makes it the same line, not a parallel line. So we have to just change our y-intercept to anything. So we can put negative 2 if we want. Minus 2. Y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Remember, the perpendicular slope has to look like this. Parallel slope has to be the same. So now it says, given this graph, write an equation of a perpendicular line. So we're given a graph over here. So remember, with perpendicular and parallel, what's important is the slope. Okay, if you don't remember that, write it down, box it, star it. Slope is what's important. And so let's go look at our perpendicular line. So first things first, we need to figure out what the slope of this line is. So we have a point here, we have a point here. Let's go ahead and go find our slope. So our rise is 2, and our run is 2. So my slope is 2 over 2. 2 over 2 simplifies to 1, so I get m equals 1. So for perpendicular, remember we make our of table. The opposite of a positive is a negative. Remember, this is 1 over 1. We flip that over, we still have 1 over 1. Okay, so our equation can be y equals, it has to be negative 1 or negative 1x, and then anything can go over here, so plus 3 if you want. Okay, for a parallel line, remember our slope has to be exactly the same, so we have y equals 1x, and our y-intercept can be anything that's not exactly like this one. So we just want to make sure that it's not intersecting right here at 3 as well, so we can intersect at 5 if we want. So if we wanted to graph this, we would go up to 3, and our slope would go this way. And you can see that that line is going to go this way. And if you wanted to do this one, it would be plus 5. That slope would go this way. It's just so that you have a visual. Okay?